Welcome to the ultimate guide on digital marketing for home builders in Auckland. So in these quick slides and video, we're going to take you through all the questions you might have about digital marketing for your home building company in Auckland, what channels to do, how much to spend, who to hire, and how to navigate the market. Because right now it is a bit tough in Auckland. We're working with a bunch of guys up in Auckland across plumbing, civil, drainage, roofing, builders, decks, fences, cladding, and it's a pretty tough market. You know, the market as of right now, May 2026, it's shrunk a little bit. Got the fuel stuff happening overseas. Customer sentiment's not ideal, but I'm going to put the money printers on soon enough. So the market shrinks a bit. So when the market shrinks, those who haven't been marketing get left at the bottom, and the cream rises to the top. So if you've been doing your marketing, investing steadily, getting some Google reviews, doing some ads, doing some Google, cold calling bigger companies to get subby work, taking your before and after pictures, posting on Instagram, then maybe you're holding on to a piece of that market. If you haven't, you're probably feeling the pinch, jumping on builders crack, fighting for scraps, and yeah, it's not a fun position to be in, but that's running a business. It's not always going to be easy, but it's worth it. So let's jump in. Yeah, Auckland market, softer market, tougher work. The new builds obviously has slowed down quite significantly the last couple years. I think there has been a decent approval rate recently, so it looks like it is turning slowly with the release of some of the smaller dwellings going through and smaller houses being developed, following suit of parts of Asia. So yeah, demand slightly declined. Buyers are slower, more cautious. Definitely retail sentiment is not ideal right now, and Auckland's quite notorious. As the market shrinks, the guys are still there. There's still guys wanting the work, and the price shopping is insane. Especially if you look at people coming from overseas, starting up businesses, and they're happy to be living off a can of baked beans or a couple bowls of rice. The costs are very low, and you might be dropping your quote in. We had a paving guy, not a builder. We've got some builders in Auckland, but a paving guy priced a paving job for a small driveway, $8,000 to the client. He's a guy, got an assistant or two, and he said he'd lost a job. I said, okay, what happened? And he said, well, the competitor quoted $2,000, so pretty hard to compete with that. Obviously, some people are always going to be price shopping for the cheapest quote, and there's things that we'll discuss later that can help you position yourself not as the cheapest but as the best, and find people who want to get stuff done properly. Renovations is usually a pretty good market. We're seeing renovations steadily coming through, working with the Christchurch builders specifically with renovations, quoting over, I think they quoted 8 mil in 1 year last year. Bathrooms are always being done, general renovations. There are people chasing the same jobs, but differentiations wins. If you've got good Google reviews, you've got good before and after pictures, then I'll show you something real quick. Got a client here, Jensen Contractors. They're a builder down in Christchurch, so obviously not Auckland. We are working with a guy in Auckland as well. But these guys, solid site, nice pictures. We're running a bunch of Google ads, probably spending a couple of grand a month. These guys are crushing it. They've got some testimonials as well. So this is the kind of marketing you need to be doing, so you don't get caught with your pants down when the size of the market drops. Quick look at this client here, 60 leads in the last 30 days. 30 in the previous 30 days, 60 in the previous 30 days, sorry. Pretty steady. And if we go down here, we can see all the leads that are coming through. So he's getting plenty of leads in arguably a very tough market. We've got people wanting to convert a garage, complete some renovations, fixing a bathroom, full renovation of a sleep out. Then we've got someone looking for a veggie box to be built. Probably not the most lucrative job, but that's Google, right? Not every job's going to be amazing. You got to be sifting through the leads to find the good ones. They're not always going to be after a bang new build. We've got plans ready. We're ready to roll. Here we go here. Renovate an old home, etc. So yeah, marketing takes time. It's marketing something that you invest in over time, and it compounds. If you're looking to just hire someone and get leads straight away, yeah, you can close jobs straight away, but to build a strong pipeline over time, you got to take it easy. You got to stack Google reviews. You got to stack testimonials. You've got to work on your SEO over time. You've got to work on your sales skills. You've got to work on systematizing your sales approach, making sure that your quotes are done quick and well, and they're not just a quick one-line item quote where you're wondering why you're competing on price and you're sending a one-line item quote. Keep pushing, and when things are going well, that's the best time to be marketing, is when you already got money coming in. So here's a quick look at some of the channels you can use for digital marketing in Auckland for your home building business. So channel 1, we've got SEO. So this is a solid strategy. It does take a bit of time for SEO to start paying off, and we do hear horror stories of people paying thousands of bucks a month for SEO over 6 to 12 months, and then nothing actually comes from it. So, depending on the size of the business and who you're picking, you could be pretty cautious about this one. But the thing is, once SEO is working, once you're sitting at the top of Google for Builders Auckland, which we've got Baker's Builds ranked number 1 there. If you type in Auckland Builders, let's have a quick look. So if we type in Auckland Builders here, we've got, there we go, Auckland Builders, Baker's Builds. We manage that business profile. So we've got the number 3 spot. We've also got the number 3 spot here. So we're just sitting at the top of Google collecting leads. When any time somebody's searching for building work, we're just sitting there collecting the leads. And these are high intent leads, right? They're already typing in Builder Auckland, so they're already ready to find someone to hire. It's not like a Facebook ad where they see it, they're like, oh yeah, cool, we need some building work done. So once the SEO is established, you can just sit there getting solid leads on autopilot. So pros and cons. Okay, Google Ads. Similar to SEO, people are already searching in the service, like Cladding Services Auckland, Building Company Auckland. So the leads are usually solid. And once you've got your campaigns dialed in, again, it can just kind of sit there and be churning in leads. And you might have Google Ads running up the top. So here's an example of an ad. You might have your Google ad up there, getting the leads from that, because Google's like a big game of Monopoly. The more spots you have on the board, the better. You might have your ad, you might have your Google map listing, and then you might have your SEO section below, and you've just taken over a large portion of the Google board. Only thing with Google Ads is it does cost money. You might be paying anywhere from $50 to $100, $150 per lead. So it can be a bit costly, but you've got to look at it as an investment. If you can put $1 into a system and get $3 to $4 out on the low end, and you want to scale the business, then you need to put more money in. You need to put on the big boy pants and double down. We've got a plumber paying about $30,000 a month across 5 locations, and that's on paper for him. When he started out with us about a year ago, he was paying $50K. He was earning $50K a month. Now he's almost spending that on marketing, but he's pulling in over $300K a month. You can see the case study on the website at theleadguide.online/case-studies, Taylor Contractors. Yeah, Google Ads, solid. I'll give it a solid 8 or 9 out of 10. Again, though, you can burn money. You can get the wrong person managing this, and they're just going to be burning cash, which can be a pain, which is, that's not fun, is it? Okay, number 3, we've got meta ads. Meta ads I like for renovations and higher-end spec work. Like if you do luxury bathrooms, stuff like that, then it's a good option to have. Meta ads, you can definitely blow a bit of cash, but if you've got solid videos of your finished work, good project walkthroughs, and you can really show off that higher end stuff, you'll be able to attract some higher quality clientele. Google Ads SEO, it can be quite mixed. Meta ads, if done right, you can target that higher end market. The only thing with Meta is the intent behind people just filling out a form usually isn't as high as Google, so you do have to call them quick. You do have to try to get some automations going on the back end to get people to know, like, and trust you. Okay, next up we've got Google Maps, Google Business Profile. This is a solid one to have. Basically it looks like this. This is the Google Maps section here. So if you can get a spot here, again, you're going to be sitting at the top of Google getting leads, and it's a good way to show your reviews. So when we're working with Baker's Builds, we're getting the leads through, and obviously we can do our best to get the leads through, but it's up to the client to be closing the jobs. But when Baker's Build says, hey, we've got the highest rated Google review map listing in New Zealand, in Auckland, that helps them close a lot more jobs, because people don't want to get ripped off in any industry, and having this many reviews is a solid way to overcome that hesitancy with the clients with hiring the wrong contractor. Okay, channel number 5, we've got website. So obviously we all know what a website is, and there's a difference between having a website that generates customers and one that just sits there and is very basic. So a basic website is fine if it's If it's small, basic, it's got very limited amount of information about your products and services. That's fine for referrals and word of mouth. Like, oh, go check out Steve's building company. Sarah types in John's building company, goes to John's website. Okay, cool. This guy's legit. He's got a website. There's a picture there. Cool. That's enough for me to contact him. And sometimes you don't even need a website to close referrals. But if you want to be generating consistent leads, creating a pipeline, hiring people, having systems in place, then you need to get the lead generation part of the business handled. And having a website that converts to traffic is important for that. Because if you're competing for cold traffic, like people searching for Google for home builders, you're up against at least 2 to 3 other guys, or 1 to 2 other guys. And if they type in cladding renovations Auckland, and you just have a one-page website with no specific information about cladding, no pictures of cladding, then you're not going to be able to compete. Even worse, if you're spending money on these ad platforms and they're going to a website that is general or is slow or is not easy to use, doesn't have reviews on it, then you're going to be burning more money. So ideally pick one of these advertising channels, Meta, Google Ads. Meta or Google Ads are going to get you leads quick. Okay, SEO is a long-term game, so is the map. But the people who invest in it over the long term reap the benefits, like Baker's Builds there. But you need a good website regardless. So if you hit up an agency and they just say, oh, let's get your big website sorted, and you spend 5 to 10 grand, don't be expecting to get leads. Just because you paid 5 to 10 grand for a nice website does not mean you're going to get leads. Which is why the industry is a bit broken for digital marketing services. It's easier to close a website, and there's no expectation to generate leads for an agency, but they'll still charge you 5 to 10K for a website. Okay, next up, we've got the other side of the marketing, which is the sales. So obviously important to touch on. You can generate all the leads you want, but if you haven't got a good sales process, then you're not going to be able to close jobs. So, especially if you're working with cold traffic, they don't know, like, or trust you just yet. So step 1, they click on the website, click on the ad. Step 2, they fill out a inquiry form or call you. If you've got a CRM, which can be helpful, which is a place to manage all your clients and or manage all your leads and contacts, then that's good. It keeps things organized. Email automation in the background, just a quick thank you email can be quite good with a few pictures of your work. But essentially, here's where it gets important. This is the marketing, this is sales side, is in the black and the orange. Call fast. You need to be called in 5 minutes. People get distracted. People are like, oh, okay, cool, I need to hire this builder, I need to get this thing underway. They call. If they don't hear someone within 5 minutes, then they're on to the next thing. They're off to the gym, off to take care of the kids, put the feet up, scroll Instagram. Or even worse, another builder calls in 3 minutes, you call in 10 minutes, and the lady says, oh, sorry, we've already got Steve coming out to look at the site. Okay, you want to be booking a site visit within 24 hours, ideally, speed to the site visit. If you can't call fast and you can't get someone out there on site within 24 hours and call in 5, then it's not going to show as professional. And if you're not responsive quickly, then how are you going to be during the actual build? Okay, step number 6 is getting that QS report out as fast as possible, or quote out. And if you're sending a one-line item quote and you're wondering why you're competing on price, then don't be surprised there. 24 hours to get that quote out is industry best practice to be closing leads. You can use AI to get your quotes out, or you can use a QS partner. Especially if you're doing a big job, new build or a renovation, it's worth investing in a QS report. Even if you win 1 out of 3, you just take $1,000 or $500 off your invoice. You're still going to be highly profitable, and you're going to be winning jobs. Okay, after the quote, this is a few tips. Keep stacking those Google reviews and follow up. You've got to keep following up. Most other guys will just follow up once or twice. If you keep following up each day with 2 calls and a text, you're going to show that you care about the job, and you're going to hang in there. So when the people actually want to go ahead, if they don't go straight ahead, you're going to be the man for the job. Okay, so if you are doing some SEO, some Google Ads, these are some insider tips from me. I've been doing digital marketing for Baker's Builds and other builders throughout NZ for 4 years specifically, and then specifically Baker's Builds I was working with for about 7 when I was back at my corporate job doing digital marketing. So here's a tip. Don't just go for the main keyword like Builders Auckland. They're highly competitive. All the other agencies are targeting it. You really got to know the ins and outs of what people are searching for on Google and the services that you provide. So here's some niches that I like to get into that are less competitive sometimes. Maybe not renovations, but cladding, laundry renovations, decks, double glazing, bathroom renos, windows, fences. Fences can be quite competitive, square meter rate based, but there's ways to position yourself no matter the niche as the higher end target. But think about bathroom renovations Auckland, cladding Auckland, double glazing Auckland, aluminium windows Auckland, renovations Auckland, villa renovations Auckland. That's an even more niche one. Deck builders Auckland, deck builders East Auckland, deck builders North Shore, South Auckland. Target these small niches if you're just starting out with a minimal budget. Get some wins on the board and then look at scaling. If you've got plenty to spend off the bat, then you could probably blast landing pages for all of these. Have a specific landing page for cladding. That's what we've got with Baker's Builds. Have a specific page for renovations, and then you can spin your ads on each of them, see what sticks, and scale on what works. So, it's obviously going to be a bit hard for you to figure all this out if you're a builder. You're good at putting up frames, hanging in nails, finishing jobs, managing projects. Learning a whole new skill like marketing in a very competitive market like Auckland is not for the faint of heart. And, if you want to scale past 100, 300 or more, then you're not going to have time to spend money on marketing, just like I wouldn't figure out how to build a house. So you can spend a range of figures, really. You can start off with $500. You might be able to get a couple Facebook ads going, or some very basic slow SEO. You might even be able to buy an AI website. If you're spending 5 to 10K, then you might be able to do some Google ads for multiple niches. You might get a decent website, have some SEO done, get somebody out for a videography project to do some meta ads. Depends where you're really at. If you're a larger company, you maybe have an in-house team spending 50K a month or more, but at the end of the day, whatever you put into your marketing, you want to be trying to make at least 3 to 4 out on the low end, and then you can just scale it up slowly. You don't have to start with multiple thousands a month. Even if you're spending 2 to 3K a month, which is the sweet spot that I like for guys who are trying to start scaling more towards that 6 figures a month mark. You should be able to get some decent cladding leads. We had an Auckland cladding company close about 300K of cladding in a few months on around the 2 to 3K a month mark. So he made a solid 10 to 20x on that. And if you are going to hire an agency, make sure you choose someone who's got a demonstrated background in the trades industry, because otherwise they're just going to be doing the builder Auckland keywords, and it's going to be very basic. You want someone who's got case studies in those trades, so that way they're going to know exactly what people are searching for on Google, all the pain points of the people that they're doing meta ads towards. They're going to realistically know if they're doing SEO how competitive it's going to be, and they're not just going to go for Builder Auckland. They're going to go for Builders Rodney, Builders Warkworth, Builders West Auckland, Deck Builders West Auckland. They're going to know these niched keywords that they know they're going to be able to rank you for and start getting you an ROI, return on investment. Okay, next up is real numbers. Make sure the agency actually shows you your return on ad spend. How many leads you're getting. They're going to know and assist you with your close rate, or know roughly what that is. They're not going to be showing you clicks and impressions, because, to be honest, you don't care about that. And it's an easy way for them to hide behind vanity metrics. All the clients we work with get a Monday report with exactly all the leads that we send through. That's something that you want to see from a marketing partner, not just wishy-washy BS. And then lastly, no fluff. If they're talking to you and you don't understand what they're talking about, then they're bullshitting. They need to be communicating with you in a simple way so you understand what's happening, where your money's going, or what you're actually making off the back. So that's it. It's a tough market right now, but you've got to keep pushing. Good marketing compounds. The best time to invest in marketing is when you've already got a pipeline. If you are an Auckland home builder, give us a bell. We might have a few spots. We've got a guy on renovations, a guy on new builds. He's also on decks. Cladding's currently available. Give us a bell if you want some cladding leads, and we'll see what we can do. We can jump on a quick call. Usually how we work, if you're interested in working with me, is a quick trial. We do a quick trial, test the waters, test the market. That way you can build a relationship with us, make sure we can get you leads, make sure you can close some jobs, hopefully get a closed job on that trial basis, and then we can catch up to scale it up. Cheers for watching. I'll see you in the next one.